Francis Ngannou and Ciryl Gane. We finally get an opportunity to see this fight, which is now, I guess, two champions, right? We have the heavyweight champion. We also have the interim champion, and they're going to fight January 22nd. DC, how excited are you that we finally get to see this? I don't know whether we think it's a grudge match because Francis Ngannou left that camp, and now Ciryl Gane is the star of that camp. If it's a grudge match, because Ciryl Gane gets a belt, right? I didn't feel like Francis was inactive that long where we needed another champion, but guess what? Dana White does what Dana White does, and we're going to have two belts at every press conference, two champions at every press conference, two accents at every press conference, and two huge men.
I love
How excited are you?
I love that, RC. I'm excited, RC, but I love that. Seeing two belts, champion versus champion, it gets my motor running. So even though Francis barely had won the belt and they made him interim title, I'm all in, man. I'm all in for the fight. It's going to be crazy because we've talked about this time and time again. I'm the dude that when you're with your friends talking about something that ain't supposed to get to the streets, you make sure y'all speak low when y'all around me. Because, I'm trying to start mess.
Boy, you messy as hell.
Oh, my goodness, boy, you don't even realize. I'm so messy. But now I see a situation where we got dudes that were former teammates, and they're going to fight each other. And then you got Ciryl Gane. Like I said, he walked into the gym. RC, he walked into the gym. $1 million bill walked into the gym. And now these two dudes fight for the heavyweight championship world. You know what's crazy here? Ciryl Gane just elbowed Francis in the face. They're in practice. These dudes are out of their minds. Look at how Francis just tried to elbow him. I mean, it don't matter if you got elbow back.
Is that like an unwritten rule of sparring, no, DC, that we don't elbow each other in the face?
RC, we don't wear elbow pads for the exact reason that you don't elbow each other. When you look at these two, they're both great fighters, both 6'4". Francis has a couple inches reach. Francis has lost. Ciryl Gane has not. Few years younger Ciryl Gane. And these two are going to mix it up. It has all the makings of a great heavyweight title fight. Now, when you look at these two guys, you look at Ciryl Gane, who dominated Derek Lewis, who dominated everybody he's fought. Francis Ngannou has pretty much knocked out everybody he's fought. It's very difficult to hold on to the heavyweight championship of the world. Stipe Miocic has the record, and he only defended it about 3 times.
Right.
You know, he only defended it 3 times in a row. That's how hard it is to stay heavyweight champion. But when I look at these two, I find myself wondering, are these two capable of a sustained reign at the top of this division?
I mean, the other thing about this, DC, when you look at the way that the heavyweight belt has changed champion, it's just changed hands so many different times. Watching Francis Ngannou fight, especially after his loss to Stipe, he seemed so dominant. Other than his earlier fight against Derek Lewis, which you have said is the worst fight you've ever seen. Other than that, Francis Ngannou has looked extremely dominant. Even when we go back to the fight against Stipe, where they're kind of filling each other out for the first round, and then he finally drops him. And so we see all these different things. You don't think that one of these dudes can be so dominant at the top of the heavyweight division that we get one of those reigns like a Kamaru Usman or like a John Jones at light heavyweight, maybe a George St. Pierre when he was fighting, even Israel Adesanya at 185. You don't think that one of these dudes can hold on to the belt that way, being such skilled fighters, right? Such big and massive men, also so dang mean, right? When you have this type of talent, you can't see these dudes having those type of reigns, DC?
You know, RC, I know how difficult it is. You know, when Cain Velasquez was the man, I thought nobody would ever beat him. But then he gets knocked out by freaking Junior Dos Santos. And then Verdum submits him. So it's like things can change so fast in this weight class. There are no guarantees. Now, if I had to guess who would reign longer, I would probably choose the more well-rounded guy. Can we agree that the more well-rounded guy is Ciryl?
Gane, yeah.
Right? Like, can we agree that the more well-rounded guy is Ciryl? So it would seem as though Ciryl might be the guy that could reign for a long time. But with the way Francis knocks people out, you start to look at the rankings and who has he not knocked out? I mean, the number 3 guy in the world is Curtis Blades, and he's knocked him out twice. So I don't know who's going to beat Francis. Hey, Ryan, I saw that dude the other day. Dude weighed 285 pounds, man.
You told me.
He put his hand on my shoulder. I was like, this dude He's the man, and he looks like the heavyweight champion.
I told you, man. When we were at McGregor Poirier, I was sitting downstairs eating at the bar, and it was fighters everywhere. Francis Ngannou walked by. I put my fork down because I didn't want him to feel disrespected by anything I might do. So I kept my hands real still, and I ain't go near him.
Hey, you gonna eat your cornbread? You gonna eat your cornbread? Brand just walked past like, yo, here, dog. Like, just take the cornbread. I'm not hungry. I'm good. He's so big and strong, bro, and he looks and feels when his presence is that of the heavyweight champion of the world. Just like Tyson Fury's presence is that of the heavyweight champion of the world. So combat sports, boxing, heavyweights, right now, the level, man, is unmatched. And I can't wait to get to the fight in January to watch these two behemoths.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.